So, greetings everyone, and what we're going to be doing today, or tonight rather, are some Crazyhouse puzzles on the chessvariants.training site. And we're going to be attempting to solve the puzzles, but also trying to understand the themes and tagging the themes of each puzzle. So we're trying to understand them. Now, because these puzzles are mostly created by Crazyhouse bot, they're mostly mating puzzles. But hopefully that will change over time as human beings will start to submit puzzles which are not always mating puzzles. And I have here some potential themes. So we have some middle game themes which are not so likely to come up, some mating themes which are very likely to come up, some defense themes which again are quite unlikely to come up when created by a bot, attacking themes, and finally just coordination themes. So because most of these themes are created by the bot, we're expecting mainly mating themes and coordination themes. Over time, hopefully, we'll get more of these themes as well. Eventually, what I'm going to do is make this spreadsheet public, and each of these themes will lead to a Lichess study where you can study the different themes. But in order to build up a nice collection of puzzles for each theme, what we're doing is we're tagging puzzles on the chessvariants.training website, which is a great resource to do Crazyhouse puzzles. If you want to do standard chess puzzles, there are plenty of places you can do that. On chess.com, on Lichess, on chess24. But if you want to do Crazyhouse puzzles, there's basically only one website, and it's chessvariants, one word, .training. And we're going to make this website even better by adding tags. And once you solve a puzzle, program Fox, who's programmed it, allows you to click on analysis board and it takes you straight to the Lichess analysis board. So you can really understand how it works. And I'm just going to turn on some music. It's some Japanese singer whom I came across 17 years ago. So hopefully it's not too loud. But hopefully loud enough that you can hear it. Okay, so this puzzle I actually solved already. So the king is cut off, and we only have diagonals in hand. So my first thought was drop a bishop here, but then the king can run back, and we could then drop a pawn somewhere. The problem is the king can run back here, and the knight is somehow cut off. So we want to be able to leave this square free for the knight. And we have three diagonals in hand. So what we need to do is we need to draw the king out. Okay, and then push it back in again. Now if we did this and he'd push it back, if he comes forwards, queen will just come in with checkmate. So he has to go back. We'll use another diagonal to push it further back. And now this is the key. We're using the bishop. So it cuts off the king from running this way. And now the knight delivers checkmate. So there are two key themes I feel here. One is drawing the king out in the way we did with that pawn, just so that we can lay down the diagonals and push it back again. And for the moment that theme is called draw and push. And the other one is the fact that we mate with a diagonal and a knight. So that theme is DN. So just to show, these are Crazyhouse puzzles tagged draw and push. Just wondering if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that on your screen. So draw and push is one of the themes. And these are Crazyhouse Puzzles tagged DN for diagonal and knight. So you can see this is all the puzzles so far. I'd say this is one of the I'd say the most popular is probably Queen and Knight, but DN is definitely a very. If I just put Queen and Knight, no, not. That's surprising. So the reason they're not many is because they should be tagged Knight and Queen, I'm guessing. Aha. So in doing so, I've just discovered a little problem. These should be Knight and Queen. Let's just retag them. And the way you retag it is just type in the tags. I'm just going to just do this just so I can. Okay, I'm just going to copy paste this in. So I'm not going to go into detail of what these puzzles were. But this was capture queen with check, knight and queen, and block escape were the ideas. But we're not going to solve. Oh, okay, I'll just show the solution. Check, check, capture queen with check, and then knight and queen mate. Okay, so knight and queen is the preferred name, not queen and knight. Now, here we have a list of all the tags, and knight and queen was correct. Queen and knight was miss. So I've now deleted the queen and knight puzzles. Okay, so that's cleared out, and so now when I refresh the Crazyhouse puzzle tags, it's a very clever system. It no longer has queen and knight in the list of tags because they've been cleared out. So we just notice that little problem, and we can go on to our next puzzle. Okay, so we are black, and we have 2 pawns, a knight, a bishop, a rook, and a queen. And the first thing that comes to mind is this square is guarded, but these are not. So actually, by the way, this music, how did I find it? I discovered it from something called Chichihiro, the anime, and the final PKR 5025. Yes, I'm glad to hear from you because it means the stream is working. Knight h3 check, rook g2 check was exactly what I was thinking as well. Yes, because this knight is then coming in as well potentially. So rook g2 check or rook h1. Not quite sure yet. So I was just talking about the music. It was I found it in this anime Chichihiro, and the final credits as they rolled, they played this beautiful Japanese song. Because Miyazaki loved his music, and that really made me sort of dig up who is the singer, and I bought her CD from which the song was taken. And I guess I'm hoping that YouTube isn't smart enough to know Japanese music. So we'll see. When I try and post this to YouTube, we'll see if they're going to complain or not. So that's just a quick intro. Yeah, so knight h3 is very nice. So it's a smother idea. He can't go here because of the smother. Rook check takes and takes here checkmate. Okay, so he definitely does have to take. But then what's the follow-up? If I just simply did rook here, I can never go rook takes because he could just go king here, and I think I'm stuck. So I suspect it's actually rook h1 takes, then pawn here. He has to take, or queen in the corner we mate, and then knight here. So I'm pretty sure that's the start of it. Now, could it be anything else? If I go queen first, knight, he might just drop back, and it's very hard. So I think it's rook h1, and then a pawn, and then the knight. Okay, and now queen there, check, followed by queen here, checkmate. If he goes here, queen here, still checkmate. So that works. Yes. It does start knight h3, and indeed we found it. Okay. Now, if we just look at our puzzle tags, the question is it really a smother follow-up? It's sort of, although it was quite an easy follow-up. So it was kind of smother idea. So I'm just trying to think, how do we tag this one? I'm just starting doing this again, so I'm trying to get back into the groove for how I should tag it. I think it is a smother follow-up in a way, because the initial smother doesn't work, and you have to find this rook h1 idea. And in a way, the rook h1 is also a magnet kind of idea, but it's a very standard smother follow-up technique. So I think this would all count as a smother follow-up. That's a kind of good thematic for what this puzzle is all about. And just to show you, these are the other puzzles so far which have been tagged smother follow-up. Oh, that was just the one we just did. Is it not? Is it not? Yeah, that's the same one. So that's not very exciting. So this is another example of the smother follow-up. I'm just going to quickly, so you do this. Now what? Maybe the knight check? Not sure. Knight check, then I'm thinking queen takes pawn maybe, or pawn here maybe. I think pawn here sounds sensible, and then knight here seems good. Oh no, bishop covers. Okay, that's bad. So I could go bishop takes pawn. What else could I do? Bishop takes pawn. Nope. Okay, that's bad. It should be a bit more. Oh, queen takes pawn. Okay, this is easy. Queen takes pawn, forces to take, queen there's checkmate. Yeah. So just I tag this smother follow-up and knight queen checkmate, because there's this nice pattern, knight and queen checkmating. And going back to the, I think originally I thought there would just be a tag for just queen mates. Rook h1, rook g2 type moves. They seem pretty common to force the king to move with a check. So yes. So I would say magnet is the rook h1. So I'd say it's a magnet idea, but because, I mean, if I just choose a random magnet idea, so I just opened up a random puzzle, and this was a magnet position. I mean, I can't remember, but I'm just guessing this, and then you do something like rook here, say, and then bishop takes pawn. So the rook g2 idea was there. And how to finish it off, though? I'm thinking queen here, but then king runs here, and then I'm not seeing... Oh, then knight here's checkmate. Okay, so queen there, and knight here's checkmate. Okay, so that was a magnet idea. But the reason... So I could have tagged it magnet, but because... So going back to the puzzle. So I could... It'd be perfectly fine to go smother follow-up and comma magnet. So you give tags without spaces. But because it's just paradigmatic of the smother follow-up, the danger is that smother follow-ups often have magnets. So I'm just gonna... I'll just stick with smother follow-up alone, but both would be fine. And we go on to the next puzzle. So I was doing a lot of this puzzle tagging. I tagged about 200 to 300 puzzles a couple of weeks ago. So I was really in a good groove then. Whereas now I'm just a little less... So I'm thinking going a little less quickly. I mean, queen here, if we had a pawn would be nice, but we don't. Queen here takes rook was my first instinct, but he's got a lot of blockers. We don't really want to do something like bishop takes bishop because there may be too many checks. so it's probably not such a safe thing to do. Queen here, king here, this queen takes rook. I've got 2 queens. Okay, yeah, thanks for that. Ryusai and PKR 5025. Okay, thanks for that. Okay, so just queen here, and it's okay. Ah. No, I don't have a I don't have a tag for having 2 queens. What to say? It's just far too easy. Because originally I did have a tag just for queen mates, and this is just a queen mate. But I got rid of it because I thought, look, queen mates are always queen and something. But this really is just queen mate, isn't it? This is very hard. What is the theme here? Phew. I mean, we haven't got a queen-queen tag, but I guess it's just got to be a queen-queen tag. Don't forget you have 2 queens sometimes. Okay, I'm going to give that a queen-queen tag. I think once you notice you have 2 queens, this puzzle becomes very easy. So I think this is the first time I have this queen-queen tag, so we have a new theme, and I'll just add that then to the spreadsheet. Queen-queen in the list of coordination. Maybe it will be a useful one in future. Okay, next one. Okay, knight, rook, and queen. Knight, rook, and queen. So my first thought is of course the magnet, followed by this, and mate. So if he tries to run away, then drop the queen and chomp. So I think that will do it. Oof. Okay, I was too hasty. Maybe knight here is better. Knight here. Ah. Knight here, queen, but then knight here. The problem is he could run here. Queen, he runs here. Knight, rook, and queen. Oh, I'm just an idiot. Rook here, he's covering it. So that's why that doesn't work. So if I go knight here, he also has this queen here, and then rook here, checkmate. Okay, so knight here looks promising. The problem is he can go this way. Ah, maybe I could do a back rank something. No, again, these rooks are covering. Okay, I've got another idea. So knight here, here. Queen there, check, he runs. Queen takes pawn, he takes rook here, here, and then maybe the bishop comes in. Something like that. I'm going to just try it. I know it's... Queen, no. Okay, so we got the right first move, not the right second move. So we've got rook and queen. Maybe queen at b6. Ah, queen at b6. Oh, he has no blockers. Ah, no blockers. That's the key. He has no blockers. Queen at b6. He has no blockers means he... If he went here, rook here's checkmate. If he went here, rook here's checkmate. Brilliant. Yes. Okay, so really the key for that puzzle has nothing to do with... Okay, so it is a knight and rook mate to finish, but he could have gone the other way, and then it would be a rook and queen mate. So the real key to this puzzle, if you're solving it, is... I've lost my... I just wanted to have the list of tags. I've lost my link now. So I just wanted to reopen that link. List of tags, tags. I'm trying to find the... Okay, I'm sorry. I had a list of tags, it's gone. Anyway, So the key for this one is no blockers. So I'm going to write no blockers. But I also want to just open up this chess variants list of tags. Crazyhouse puzzle tags, that's the one. Okay, so just to check that I spelled it correctly, no dash blockers. Yeah, good. So that's the key to the puzzle. So that's the theme of the puzzle, is no blockers. And like, yeah, when you said that to me, queen at b6, and I noticed no blockers, yes, that makes the puzzle a lot easier. So 2 pawns and a bishop. Okay, so obviously the first thing I think about is checks, but I'm not sure if they're any good. So 2 pawns and a bishop. If we could get any check on that king, we would be in good shape. Like, for example, pawn there, check. If king takes pawn, queen there, checkmate. If pawn there, check. If this one, then I just need any old check, and that would be mating. But I don't have a knight, say, to deliver a random check. So it's not so simple. Risa 8000 says maybe queen g5, maybe pick up the knight then even. And then knight here. Yeah, that's a good point, isn't it? Yeah. So queen g5, he blocks. Queen takes knight. Now if he took with the bishop, knight there is checkmate. So he takes with the pawn. But so that's the only slight concern. Queen there, check. Pawn there. Oh, but then I might also have, yeah, some blocker here. Queen takes and pawn takes. That's the only thing. And the thing I'm worried about the king running to here, so I would need another block, and then the knight. Okay, so queen there, check. I think queen takes knight, then another block, then the knight. Yeah. So I need another, bring the bishop in, or another bishop. He blocks, and then the mate. Yes! Yes, that's so satisfying. That is really nice. Okay, so in that puzzle, we noticed that the knight was the key piece to mate. So one of the themes, if I just bring up this list, is the piece hunt. We were hunting for that knight. So that was wonderful. Then the other one is that if we just put the knight immediately, he could run away. So it was both a piece hunt, but also blocking the escape route. So if you look at the list of themes, block escape. Block escape was really important to get this puzzle working. So it's a piece hunt, block escape, and okay, now in the end it's a knight and queen mate, but that's not really the essence of it, I feel, in some way. It's the two key themes are we're hunting for this piece, and we have to block the king's escape route. So those are the two themes I'll put in. And so if I just to check again, so if I just making sure everything's working. Oh, so did it wrong that way. Yeah, and so the tags are nicely updating after every turn. Really, I really enjoyed that puzzle. Although I have to admit I didn't solve it completely myself. So well done, Risai. So now we're black and we have no pieces, but we have a queen maybe, and we have lots of potential checks. It's always worth checking checks first. There's no point taking the knight because we don't have a diagonal to follow up. So these are the two candidate moves. Taking the queen is nice because you're threatening queen g2 checkmate. So takes the queen, king takes. It's forced, so it's very forcing. Queen there, check. king here, knight here check, king here. Huh, and we can't take this pawn because the knight defends. So maybe do knight here check first. King here. But then we knight here check. Yeah, that seems really good. And if he takes with the rook, queen here is checkmate. So we've got knight here check, king here, promote to knight, takes, and then queen here checkmate. Yes. Yes, PKR 5025. You got it quicker than me, especially since you got delay. So very nice. Go with the knight. Ah, he did it kind of the easy option. So the themes for that one are capture queen with check, because it's with check, and under promotion would be the two potential themes. So if I just show, let's capture queen with check. You're not allowed spaces in tags, which is why it's with dashes, and under promotion, all one word. So those could be the themes. I think they're both important in a way. So capture queen, we needed the queen in order to deliver the checkmate, and under promotion, I'm not really interested. I mean, the queen mate is not so interesting. It's just a queen mate. So those are, I think, are the two themes. Next puzzle. Oh, smother. It must be a smother, right? Yeah. So it's a smother. Oh no, it's not a smother. Can't see it. I was going to say knight takes pawn, knight here, but oh, this bishop. This bishop is stopping me from doing my smother. And if it's not a smother, this is also tempting. So let's see. So this, by the way, this song now, this song is going to probably get YouTube flagging my video, because it's the closing scene of Chichihiro. No blockers. So one very tempting idea is just putting a knight here. You could run. Okay, we have a smother here. Maybe. Queen takes knight, king takes rook here, check. He only has a queen to block with, so he blocks with the queen. Rook takes queen, king takes. Pawn and then queen. So apparently there's a faster mate. I was going to go rook takes queen, pawn and queen. Oh, that doesn't work. Knight covers. Ah, yes, okay. This one first. Yes! Yeah, knight h7. So what would be the theme here? It's not no blocker, it's only got queen blocker. So it is a bit like no blocker because he's only got the queen blocker, but well, then he has no blockers in the initial position. I think that realization is interesting, and that means he's forced to give the queen. So maybe make a new tag for blocking with the specific piece you need. Well, the only reason he's forced to do that is because he has no. He has no blockers to begin with, so I'd say so. Normally, yeah. So normally for that, the tag would be capture with check is the key. So capture with check here. So the point is you're capturing whatever piece it happens you need with check. So that would be the general form of that. So here I'd say it's no blockers is the initial circumstance, and capture queen with check. Capture queen with check. And to finish, it is a knight queen mate after all, so I'm going to call it a knight queen mate. So no blockers, capture queen with check, and NQ for knight queen mate. So in general, if you're forcing the opponent to block with the piece you need, just say capture with check, capture dash with dash check would be fine. Okay. So 3 pawns and a knight. 3 pawns and a knight. 3 pawns and a knight. Knight can come here. Pawn. 3 pawn. We've got loads of pawns. So notice, this bishop is cutting the king off here, and this bishop is cutting the king off here. So this makes our life incredibly easy. We just draw and push. Draw it out, put a knight in, and push it back. So I think this is just a simple draw and push. So it's not like the cookie trail mates when we keep on drawing the king out with pawns into the face of our own position, and then mate the king with our, and that's named the cookie trail mate, thanks to Joanna for the creative terminology. But this one doesn't have as nice a name. It's just the single draw, the single cookie. So it's a single draw and push. So this one I feel like taking the knight and taking the queen, and so capturing the queen with check is going to happen at some point. Maybe capture the knight and then capture the queen. No, but I can't use the knight. Okay, capture the knight, check, and then take the queen. That feels right. Oof. So it's playing extremely. Oh yeah, there's quicker. You just do this, right? And he can't check, or he can check me. What's this? Sidestep. So there's a sort of slight quiet move that you have to do here, just taking the piece you need. We didn't capture with check. It's quite interesting in that one. We just said, meh, it's okay. So normally, a mate threat, a quiet move that has a mate in one threat is so there's some quiet moves which are really genuinely quiet. Whereas this side, yeah, so you do get some of these puzzles where you get a move like this, which isn't check, and usually, almost always, they're going to be mate threats. So quiet move will be very rare. I mean, I'll just open up these tags. There was only one quiet move. A couple of quiet moves I saw. I just want to see what it is. It was take the bishop, check. Oh, so it was double quiet. So it's take the bishop and then do this and then take the queen. So that was one of these puzzles. So that was a quiet move. And often when there's a quiet move, the opponent can check And sometimes you have to calculate how to... So don't do king takes, because otherwise he could throw in more checks. So then there's another tag that often comes up in these sorts of puzzles, which is the least checks. Because you need to do least checks, this one. You need to move in such a way that you allow for the least check. I think I didn't bother. I don't know, for some reason for this one I didn't bother tagging it least checks. But often when you make a quiet move, you have to be careful that you allow the least checks. So going back to... But this one isn't a quiet move, because it's literally a mate in one threat. So I'm going to call it a mate threat. Here's the key. And then in the very first move... Yeah, I guess it's just the mate threat, and it's the double take mate. Even if he defends, you have the double take. So the double take is this one here. I think that's quite important, because you're not only threatening mate, but you're threatening to drop and just double. So it makes it impossible to defend that mate, which is why it's a double take. Pins. Are there pins? I mean, yeah, there's a pin for the pawn, but so. But having said that, if he could go queen takes pawn, queen takes queen, king takes queen. Yeah, I mean there is a pin, in theory. So I'll show you what we have for pins so far. Yeah, we have got a few pins. And because I'm not solving it right now, okay, so we've got pawns, knights. I mean, I'm just going to guess something random. So do we exploit this pin or do we play on it? Oh, we got a rook. Oh yeah, okay. So that's a pin. So we're using the fact it's pin to just checkmate. So that's an example of a pin one. Yeah, there is a pin here as well, but I feel like it's sort of too obvious. I don't know. But yeah, if that was tag pin, that would be completely fine as well. So the pin tag, just to recap, is just pin, P-I-N, if is also okay. So this one, pawn, bishop, queen. So queen here is tempting, but the king can run up. He has blockers, so it would be picking up a queen with check if he doesn't run up. If he does run up, okay. Okay, so he has no blockers is actually quite interesting, because it means we could do stuff like castle. Okay, there is potential pin here as well. Oh, queen here check. No, the knight defends. So pawn, bishop, queen, how to do something. We've got to be careful, because queen here is checkmate. So. Okay, so I quite like queen here. If blocks, takes, and queen here again. So we do force king to come up. And the question is, no, that's not. Okay, maybe another idea. Queen here. Or a king here directly. Doesn't work. Oh, maybe the king is actually can be sealed in. Bishop takes knight. Knight takes. So then we pick up a knight and we go queen here. No. So I'm tempted by queen here. And if he blocks, bishop takes knight. Knight takes. No, then if queen takes queen, rook takes, and he's all safe. So maybe we have to take the knight first. Bishop takes knight, knight takes. The problem is bishop takes knight, this knight takes. Now we can't check with the knight so easily, so we could go queen here anyway. Now we're not looking so strong. Okay, so the other idea is just going queen here, king here, and just sacking here. Knight takes, and then going knight here anyway. And if he ever goes here, we have this knight swinging in with checkmate. That's really beautiful. But he could just go back, and then I'm not seeing it. Rook at e1. Rook at e1. Where's the rook? Bishop e1 check. Bishop e1 check. Rook e1, king e1. Now I'm slightly confused. Where's our rook? We've got a pawn, a bishop, and a queen. Queen f1, you're saying. And he goes queen. Takes, takes. Rook f1 check. King d2, bishop e1 check. Yeah, we do have a bishop. That's true. So we could go bishop e1 check and force the king out. Yeah, that's an idea. So queen, so just going back, queen here, king here, bishop here. Oh, that is a very nice idea, because if he goes here, we've got queen takes pawn, checkmate. Yeah, that's very nice. So queen here, he has to do this and takes. Yeah, that's it basically. Takes. Queen here, and the key with this one is the bishop. Well, if you ran out, queen can take f2, but this one's even easier. Yeah. So what's the key for that one? To me, the key for that one is this: the fact the bishop controls f2. So this is very much to me like a diagonal and queen mate. So if you look at the list of puzzles, whenever there's a knight used, the knight comes first. So knight, 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 queen, knight, rook. But the diagonals even takes priority. So sorry, diagonals, d anything is d, and then so this is diagonal queen. So diagonal queen, knight, queen, and then if there are other minor pieces. Okay, sorry. I was just trying to remind myself of the order things go in. Yeah, so this is a DQ mate. Is there any other theme to it? I mean, in the end, the final one is a back rank, but it didn't. In some way, the queen takes f2 idea is quite key. So I'm just going to call it a DQ mate. DQ is the theme. The diagonal and the queen work together to find mate. Is there another? I mean, they'd also capture the queen with check, potentially, but that's again not the key to the puzzle because he could have gone king here directly. So I'll just say DQ as the real theme of the puzzle. But as I said, this is not an exact science. Now this is a chess game, interestingly, but we got a knight whenever we want it. Queen takes bishop, blocks, knight there, checkmate. So that's very cunning. So the original thing, queen takes bishop and blocking the king's escape route, but this way, I'm not sure what to do because the king wants to go here. And I think I want the queen. Queen. But how to stop the king running? The problem is bishop takes queen. Obviously, if he did king takes, it would be very easy. Because I'd probably go here. Not very easy, but knight, queen. No, it's not so easy. Ah, this is very easy, of course. It's just knight here, and we get control of this one. And the key is he has no blockers, so he has to move the queen again. So if you went this way, it was just simply this, and a smother. It's quite hard to define what the theme is, in a way. I mean, so one of the themes was a smother. That was one of the themes. And the theme of the puzzle, as it was asked, was it's like a back rank. So back rank smother. I'd say it's a back rank smother. I'm going to call it a back rank smother. And just to explain, back rank is back dash rank. Smother, we know, smother. And is there any particular piece theme? Not really. Maybe you could say it's a knight-queen mate. You could argue it's a knight-queen mate. So actually, back rank, smother, and NQ. Because it's a knight-queen however you do it. The other way was also n-queen. Even if you went this, queen takes, knight there, is also an NQ mate. So I think NQ is a good theme for this puzzle. Okay, so we've got a pawn, a knight, a bishop, a rook, and we have this classic idea of this. If he takes it, it's mate, so he can't take it. If he goes here, not sure then. And if he goes here, I'm not sure. So it's not so easy. Could also go here. Oh, I really like here. Bishop takes pawn, king takes, knight takes queen, if we can get away with it. But knight here, just king here. Bishop takes pawn, king takes knight is the problem. But then we can go bishop here, maybe, and then maybe some back rank. Okay, so knight here, king here. You don't want to lose the queen with check, so you'll take here. So we're ending up there, so the king's here and our bishop is here, so it's very cut off. But how to finish him off? Yeah, the knight covers this square. If we go bishop takes knight, and that seems reasonable because then you can go knight, pawn, and if he goes that way, rook here is checkmate, and if he goes the other way, then rook there is checkmate. So I think that should do it. Is it the quickest? Apparently not. That's frustrating. That seemed so good. I mean, rook h1 is also interesting. With bishop h3 to follow. And your knight and pawn will mate if he runs down. So rook h1 is interesting. Bishop takes pawn. He can't go here, I'll just go knight here to pick up the queen. Well, I'm just going to try it. Nope. I'm sure that's also mating though. Wow, so it's neither of those things. Okay, well my original thought, knight h3. But I didn't see a follow-up here. Oh, just knight h3, because I'm going to force the queen. Okay. It's exactly the same idea I had here, except I definitely get the queen. How silly. Okay, now it's the very classic mate here, where you just draw the king in. Okay, so that was bad. So one idea here is the diagonal rook mate, dr mate. That's one of the themes, but it doesn't come to fruition. Then there's capture the queen with check, and then there's a magnet. So I'd say, is the dr important? I think the dr is important. Otherwise you could just take it. So I feel the themes of this are dr, diagonal rook mate, capture queen with check, and then the beautiful magnet to draw the king in, and then technically it's a knight-queen mate at the end. So if I was being very strict, I would include that as a theme, but I'm not being strict, so I'm not going to include the fact it's a knight-queen mate to finish, I think. But technically, if I was being a robot about it, then it's a knight-queen theme as well. But in some way, the dr theme is more important. The diagonal rook idea. It's not a smother because this is all covered, but there is a dr idea. Yeah. Okay. Next one. Pawn, bishop, queen. And he has a queen, so we can't go off and do stupid things like take the bishop, because we get mated. So it's quite hard to see how to mate with pawn, bishop, and queen. Okay, it's clear back rank, isn't it? Takes, takes, takes. Okay, so notice these two knights cover, I mentioned this before, how these two knights, 3 apart, actually control a little square. And I call it a knight cube because they control this little square as well, and they're 6 faces of little things that they control. You know, here, here, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 regions of the board. But in particular, they control this little square, this face of the cube. Which means that I can just get rid of the queen, clear off the back rank, force the king to this square, and then whichever way it goes, I've got... he's stuck on the back rank, so this is a back rank issue. Just back rank. Pawn or bishop both will do, and now back rank. So this is a simple back rank mate. Yes, well done, PKR 5025. Also seeing it. So back rank is the theme, and nothing else really to say. I mean, the knight cube's interesting, but somehow that's... yeah, it could have been any other pieces just controlling those 2 squares. So I don't think that's a theme as such. A rook and queen. So... quite good defense. Really, quite good defense. Everything's defended. So, how are we going to use our rook and queen? Not so obvious. So if we had a diagonal, there would be a... so this square is controlled, but this one isn't. If we had a diagonal, there'd be a slight temptation to draw the king in, come into the queen, king goes here, and then drop a rook. But we only have got 1 rook, so this is all a moot point. But there would be a slight temptation to try and do this. It doesn't really work, because the king can run. And then these squares are both covered, so it does feel we want to deflect some defenders somehow. I mean, one idea is just knight here, knight takes knight, queen takes pawn, but that can't be right. There's also just queen here, very, very chill move. The king still runs a little. Only a little, though. What if I just dump a queen here? So the threat is what? Rook at f8. Yeah, rook at f8 was my first thought, but what's the follow-up? Bishop there? Oh yeah. Gosh. And then queen there's checkmate. Okay. That's true. Rook there. I don't have a diagonal though. Oh. Rook there, king there. Queen takes bishop. Then we have a bishop. Excellent. If king takes, queen there's checkmate. So he has to take with the knight. He's got so much coverage though. Okay, but now we've still got a queen in hand. For here. King here. Queen takes knight. King here. Oh, annoying. Knight here, check. King goes back. Knight here. I mean, it's a long. It'll work eventually. You want queen g7. Rook f8. King takes. Queen g7. King here. Drop a queen here. Here. Let's try it. Perfect. What about queen here? Queen here first. Takes, and we win a knight, and we clear this square. For checkmate. Oh, that's pretty. That's a pretty one. So we clear away our own square. I can't remember what that was called. So there's clearance, but clearance is usually clearing away an opponent's square. I'm just trying to remember if there's another word for it, if you're clearing away your own square. Maybe there isn't. So I'm not sure. Okay, that's quite pretty. So there's a magnet first to draw it in. Just so that this is still check. And then we have a knight, a diagonal knight mate. Yeah, nice mate. So we're trying to work out what the theme is, and we have a list of themes. It's a kind of a clearance of your own. So what it is actually is also another word for clearance is if it's your own pieces, it's like you're somehow opening up your own square. So just trying to work out what to call it. Well, the final mate is clearly the DN. Diagonal and knight mate. You have a diagonal and a knight working together to give mate. So it's a DN mate to finish, and a magnet. But I wonder if that counts as clearance. I'm going to call it clearance. I'm not. We'll have to work out in future whether it's clearance, whether some of these clearances aren't really clearances. But I'm going to call it a magnet mate, a clearance theme, and a DN finish. So the way yeah, the way these tags work is usually if it's a diagonal and something, the diagonal comes first. And the reason for that is because actually often when you're executing the mate, you place the diagonal first and then the queen or the knight or the rook. Or if you use a knight and a queen or knight and rook, usually you place the knight first. So that's why I'm calling it DN rather than ND. So it's D first, then N, next, then R, then Q, in that order. In these for the coordination ones, for these ones. I kind of deleted the Q, but might regret it. NQ, NR, NN, DN. Because what I realised, a lot of queen mates are really a pawn and queen mate, so they could technically be put under DQ, diagonal and queen. So D should come first sometimes. D, N, R, Q, D, and then N. N, NR, NQ, and so on. And then finally RQ. And then last of all QQ. And there's also DNR, which we found happens quite a lot. Diagonal, knight and rook working together. Okay, next one. We have just one pawn. We're going to mate with the sole pawn. And the first thing that comes to mind is just remove the defender, just eat it. Could just go here. But then we can go queen takes pawn and invade with our queen. Oh, can we? No, we can't. You can defend. But we can even eat this one as well. So queen takes knight surely has to be good. If knight takes, queen takes pawn, king here. This has got to be correct. But how to finish it? So queen takes pawn, king here. I'm not seeing the mate. Oh, maybe rook here? No. He's got too much coverage. Bishop takes pawn. So he's ending up here, and I'm trying to work out how to mate him on that square. Ah, I've got a nice idea. Go here, which you can't take. Then do a discover check with the knight. And we're going to smother him. Yes! Smother! So going back... So we can actually open... I haven't shown this feature, but you can open anything up on an analysis board. So queen takes d7 is remove the defender. And yeah, if king takes... No, not... King takes d7 wasn't a slight concern. Slight concern, what if you just ran? Oh, but then just queen takes... We have a classic mate. So, okay. So he takes it with the knight. So you have this, which is a slight sort of double take idea. If he takes, we take back this checkmate. Discovery. And a smother. Oh, queen takes e7 also worked. So I was liking the smother, but the smother... Okay, but he could defend with the queen. Takes. So smother, I was very excited about the smother, but when I actually looked at it here, I realised smother's not the key aspect of this puzzle in a way, because there are too many other ways of doing it. However, this idea of the double take and discovery is, of course, key. So remove defender is definitely just showing you. Remove defender is definitely a key. Discovery seems to be quite important, and also this double take idea. I think remove defender, double take, and discovery are the three keys. And the final mate, there's so many ways it could be done. It could be a smother, it could be... I missed the fact you could just simply take the queen, so there's no specific piece coordination theme. But I think double take is an important theme you can't avoid, and discovery is an important theme, so we're going to keep those. Next puzzle. Okay, knight and queen. I'm tempted by smothering him somehow, but it looks like he's running, so I'd like to block his escape in some way. But okay, so queen is tempting, knight takes pawn is tempting, but all it does is get him to run, in which case I go knight here, and unfortunately he continues to run here or here. So we got him here, and then he might even be running here. I'm like, oops, this is not going according to plan. So, queen here. If he ever runs directly, then... So, if he blocks, knight takes pawn, king here, queen here, king here, pawn here is checkmate. Okay. So, he probably has to run immediately. But then I could go pawn here. But I don't have a pawn to mate him with. If he goes here, I've got knight takes pawn. Ooh. Knight takes pawn, king here. And this isn't mate because he can come up. Oof. Okay, so not quite seeing it yet. And in the meantime, we have to... Yeah, he's got a huge attack if we don't do something quickly. Queen there check. So we found if he blocks, we're fine. Let's go here. Knight here check. He goes here. I could go pawn. So there are mates with, yeah, no, it's going to be too slow. I mean, too slow, and he might keep on running around, so try and find something more efficient. Queen here check, king here. Pawn here check. Okay, we're going to do that. That feels right. So he goes to one of these two squares. And we have a knight. So well, I could just go queen takes bishop. Then we have a slight difficulty here. Queen here, king here. Pawn here, king somewhere. Take the bishop. Okay, he just takes back. What's the problem? How are we going to use... That's not going to be efficient. Ah, maybe knight takes pawn first. Knight takes pawn first, then we have a pawn in hand at least. If he runs, then he's finished. Queen here, pawn here is checkmate. Okay, so knight takes pawn first. He has to go this way. And then... Or this way. I'm not sort of seeing him in. It's quite unsatisfactory. So he's running the other way if I take the pawn, but knight takes pawn. If king here, queen here, king takes knight. Knight here is checkmate. Ooh, that's nice. So knight takes pawn, king here, knight here, check. And if he ever runs up, again we have this is checkmate. So he has to, after knight takes pawn, king here, knight here. What else can he do? Oh, that'll do it. Wow. So this is all about the knight and queen working together, although there's also a pawn working. But it's knight and queen coordination. That was sort of very... took me a while, but sort of satisfying to get it in the end. I get so many of these wrong because there's little errors, so it's good to get one right. This feels like my first sort of reaction. I want to like just draw that king right back down, and then like queen and rook checkmate it, something like this. So that's a mate in 3, isn't it? Except after this you can just do this, so it's not so clear. And the other idea is seal him in. Yeah, so if he tries to just come back, we can just add a knight here, and we also have mate in 3. Oh, we don't have a bishop. What am I talking about? Ah. Okay. So much for my fantasies. Well, I still feel like a magnet. So this, if he comes out, queen here is checkmate. So he takes, and then we add a knight. Comes out. And queen here, he's still running. He's running out again. So it works, but it's somehow not very efficient. Rook here, knight here. Okay, the other way is to try and block him first. Yeah, queen b5 first, yeah, and then the magnet. Okay, let's do that. No, okay, magnet immediately, and then queen, then block him. Okay, and then yeah, we got it in the wrong order, but that's quite interesting. Why not do queen b5 first? So if queen b5 first, yeah, the problem with that is then when we do the magnet, he has this, I think. So it still works, but it's just a lot more complicated. So yeah. So the key is magnet, and then block escape. So those are the two things. We have to do them in the right order. Magnet, comma, block escape. Cool. Even though we got it slightly wrong, but we were just trying to rush a little, so it's fine. Okay, black only has a bishop. Feels like a magnet again, doesn't it? So I feel like I want to go rook here. Oh, but they've also got simply bishop takes pawn. That's also tempting. We've got 2 queens. Oof. So bishop takes pawn is... The problem with bishop takes pawn is then g8 is defended. So maybe rook here first. And then knight here, or knight here. Knight here, let's say, here. Okay, this is going to work. The question is the quickest. So my plan, yeah, is maybe a bit slow. It's knight here, king takes bishop, queen here, king takes knight. Ah, it doesn't work because this covers. Okay, well my original idea was knight here. I should have done that. And the point of that, then, is... It's all very easy. Okay, so the idea is magnet, basically. The fact we got 2 queens is not really relevant because we could have also made with the rook. So magnet is the key. Nothing else is very interesting, I don't think. So why knight here? Yeah, the reason the knight here is you want to control this square. Yeah, knight h6. Okay, next one. So we have black, we have a pawn and a bishop. I've got no idea. How are we going to get in? This is so funny. It's a discovery, right? Because if we had knight here check, king takes knight, knight here is a double check, queen there checkmate. That's very pretty. So what if instead he just went knight here, king here? Then maybe knight takes pawn. I want to do this just because it's so fun. Now I think knight takes pawn, check. And then I'm not thinking, I'm just sort of feeling this is right. So yay. So the keys with this is the double check, really. But here it's also discover check. And knight-queen coordination. So NQ is definitely a very important theme. Should I call it a discovery or a double check? I guess it is discovery. But actually, no, I think it is a double check because, just to show you on the analysis board, after this move, if this weren't double checked, he could block on this square. So although it's a discovery, actually, and although the double check doesn't happen in the actual puzzle, I feel the double check is actually a much more important theme in this puzzle than the discovery. Because if it weren't for the double check, he could just simply take the knight after this move. If it were not a double check, this whole thing wouldn't work. So double check is like a hidden theme. That's even more. So even though there's a discovery as well, I feel the double check is even more important. I should probably include discovery as a theme as well. So I'll include both to be absolutely fairest. Double check, discovery. The themes. PKR 525 says, I'm taking off, have a good night. Yeah, I've actually finished. No, not quite finished. I've almost finished the song. Well, the album. So I should be also calling it a night very soon. Maybe let's just do a couple more. We have all the material in the world, and I feel like knight here is probably going to do it. Let's just quickly do that. Knight, and then we want to try and find a mate. Okay, so we have under promotion as one theme so far. Maybe just block him off, block escape, and then mate him. So that's block escape and mate. Okay, so the themes would be under promotion, block escape, and that's it. Yeah. So yeah, we're getting into the groove now, but unfortunately we have to call it a night. So last one to go, knight and 2 bishops. So maybe one idea is draw him out and push him back. That doesn't work because of this. So given that, it's not so obvious that the knight's actually defending. So knight and 2 bishops. How do I mate here? Well, we've got bishop takes and drop another knight here, but then... And if he ran up, then he's probably in trouble. You can go this way. Not so obvious. And not obvious also how to get the queen involved, so... Wow, this is a... I'm not seeing a mate here. Wow, this is really surprising there's a mate here. But the fact it's created by Crazyhouse bot means there is something that I'm missing. Knight and bishop. So, maybe bishop, king here. Oh! Oh! Oh, how beautiful! Oh my goodness, knight here! Of course! Okay, that's just completely beautiful. Yeah, just simply diagonal knights working together so amazingly. So, the knight covers the escape. So, cover escape and DN working together. So okay, that'd be the last puzzle of the night. Obviously, it's a really easy one, obviously. The knights work really beautifully to cover all the squares. So you just... and it's also a draw and push. So I'll say it's a draw and push. Cover... I mean, this is kind of giving too many tags for sure, but draw and push, because you're drawing the king out and pushing it back in again. You're covering its escape. Kind of almost doesn't need to be said, but why not? And it's a DN mate. Okay, that's a really beautiful puzzle. I mean, this is the fact it took me about 2 minutes. So this should be something you see instantly in a game. It's so beautiful and so classic. Okay, yeah. So thanks for joining me in solving and tagging these puzzles. It's good stuff. This actually, I should have shown you at the beginning the different tags we have. We've got attack on both colours, back rank, block escape, capture queen with check, capture with check. Cast away is when you just throw away a piece because it's in your way and you just toss it to one side with check, for example, and then continue your attack. Clearance is often when you clear away an opponent's square. Colour complex is attacking on a particular colour. Combining defense and attack is often like the bishop checks that the check and defend. Cookie crumb is Joanna's name. You drop pawns to draw the king out and then you mate it in the center of the board usually. Correct blocker is a defensive theme. Counterattack is knowing you're going to get mated, you have to mate or make your opponent use attackers. Cover escape we just did. 2 diagonals. Deflect defender, develop, which we haven't really done much. Discovery, diagonal knight and rook. Double check, double pressure. So when you just double up on something. Double take, diagonal queen, diagonal rook, draw and push. Enemy piece defender. It's one where like the enemy piece is actually your defender and you should just not take it, but continue your attack. F2, F7, G2, G7, H2, H7 are critical squares often in Crazyhouse, especially for the castled king, so they just get their own separate names. Fork, interference. Interference is when there's a piece defending something and you just cunningly block it. Intermediate move, king hunt, king run, least checks, long castled king. Ways of attacking the long castled king as opposed to these 3 for the castled king. Magnet. Mate threat is when you threaten mating one, it's impossible to stop. Moon is a kind of complicated one. It's when you you drop a piece which your opponent takes, which you're going to take later in the sequence. So you might, it's almost like you're giving up the piece, but you create a depot. Like suppose your opponent is covering the back rank with his rook. You drop a rook on f1, so he goes rook takes. And later in the sequence, because his rook's on f1, it means it's available to be taken. It's like an ammo depot for you to pick up with check. So that's called Moon, because Moon was very good at it. He's a young Australian player. So just to finish, 2 knights, no blockers, knight, queen, knight, rook. Open up if you're opening up a file. Pawn drop, it's often useful. Pawn drops on the 7th rank. Piece hunt, we had one of those. Often in Bughouse, you need a particular piece. Piece sack, well, that happens a lot, so it's hard to say exactly when you want to use that theme. And then queen sack goes along with that. Pin, positional hold, promotion. Promotion is, yes, promotion is in some sense key. Queens, which we just had a new theme today. Queen drop safety. Now this is probably off your screens now, but so just quickly finish it off. Queen drop safety. Queen invasion is when the queen is moving in. It can't be stopped. Queen sack, quiet move, remove defender, rook and queen. Rook and queen. Yeah, that should be RQ. So rook and queen should not be there anymore. Yep, it's gone. That'll be removed. Smother follow-up. Take or not is when you have a problem. Do I take it or do I not? Which is similar to the enemy knight defender, enemy piece defender. Basically, don't take. Trap and under promotion. Trap is if you can trap the opponent piece, like a queen trap, and under promotion. Okay, so those are the themes that we're working with. You can also see them here in this table with some examples linked to Lichess Studies. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed some of the puzzles we've done today. It's a beautiful one to finish. Drawing the king out, pushing it back, while also covering the escape route. Not going here, of course, because otherwise it could be taken. You lose your wonderful knight. This knight is a very good piece, constraining the king. So you put the knight here instead, and finish off the mate. So it's a diagonal knight mate. Okay, so that was a good one to finish. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and hope you enjoyed this music by. Now I should know. So I can't. Closing credits. I'm trying to remember the name of the artist because I've got it written in Japanese here. So is it Spirited Away? Chihiro. I can't spell. Well, obviously it's not this because I don't remember it. Well, it says it's Itsumo Nando, but I don't recognize. Maybe it is this. I can't say. Let's just try and play it and see if it is. But yeah, it is this. It is this. So that's what we. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'm just going to close out with this music.